Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Shutterfly. If you're like us, you take a lot of pictures because you have a camera right in your hand all the time. How would you not take a lot of pictures? And we're taking all these pictures, more than we've ever taken in the history of the world.
What are you going to do with them all?
That's the thing. You used to get a solid picture, and then you'd look through them, and you could enjoy them. Now they're like back on your camera roll. You can't even find them. You don't want that. That's why the cool thing you need to do, and what I did, and I think it's pretty cool, is create a Shutterfly photo book.
Oh.
What I did, and you're going to enjoy this, Jimmy, because I haven't showed this to you yet, but took all of our pictures from being on tour this year.
Oh.
All live show pictures, us backstage, us on stage, doing all that stuff, and like some of the, just the venues and things, and made a little photo book out of that. Also, they have free 24-hour designer service as well. With their 24-hour designer service, a professional designer is going to lay out the book for you for free in just a day. Make something that means something with Shutterfly. Enjoy 40% off orders over $29 with promo code SMALLTOWN. See site for promotional details.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back.
Do it.
That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure,
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
This week, we look at the town of Great Linford in the UK, where a young man's dreams of glory and riches begin with an attempt at becoming a serial killer. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Small Town Murder. Yay! My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
We can't thank you guys enough for joining us this week.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited as can be for this week. We're going on the other side of the ocean this week.
Expensive plane ticket.
We're going to the UK for this one. Before we get to that, though, I just want to thank everyone out there for their iTunes reviews this week.
Wow.
Guys, you're the best. Honestly, we have the best listeners on earth.
This audience is incredible.
You guys are amazing. You're helping us so much on the business end and everything. I can't even explain it to you, but thank you so much.
Top 30.
Top 30, guys. Keep them coming, honestly. Keep them coming. They mean the world to us. So if you haven't done it yet, please get on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Say anything you want.
I don't care.
Anything. Say the paper is crispy.
It is.
It is. It's crunchy when you crunch it up. It doesn't matter. Just the 5 stars help us out immensely on a business end, and we can't thank you enough.
Truly.
Also, too, if that's not enough for you, if you just
You're just one of those guys.
If you're just like, I love the show too much.
Right. You got to prove it.
You got to prove it, and you have to do that. There's a way you can do that.
Yeah.
If you want, you can get on patreon.com/crimeinsports, which is our other podcast, which you should also be listening to.
No doubt.
So also listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie when I make fun of bad romantic comedies. You should do that. But get on there. You can drop us a donation. There's some cool rewards for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it helps us a lot because we've honestly... We've honestly got rid of a few things. If you notice, if you listen like the first 10, 12 episodes, you noticed in the beginning, before it even came on, there'd be an ad.
Right.
Napa No House and bullshit like that. Right. We got rid of those ads.
You need some windshield wipers?
Yeah.
You need your brakes replaced?
Whatever the personalized ad was for you. We got rid of those ads. We're just trying to make the show better, and we didn't want that at the top of the show.
Right.
Kind of just messing up your flow and making you fast forward through a minute of crap in the beginning. If it's us doing an ad, it's one thing. We'll try to be funny or whatever, but if it's just some crap, we didn't want to have it down there. So if you could do that, that'd be terrific. If not, hey, you know what? It's all good. Sit back, listen. We're going to have an awesome show for you. A wild tale of just messed up things happening.
My favorite.
I hope you enjoyed last week in Lino Lakes, Minnesota. Holy Jesus Christ.
So the first somebody tweeted at me and told me, did anybody correct us? And I was like, I didn't even realize it. No, nobody had. And then I looked at the small town. I look at small town's handle, and holy shit, it was deep of people like, you guys are idiots. We get it. We're idiots.
I have to say, if anyone was offended by my pronunciation of Lino Lakes, I don't care.
Right.
Sorry. We messed up, and I don't care. You know what I did get right? The number of hammer attacks and stab wounds and years in jail and things like that. I don't know. Looks like Lino to me. Sorry, but we did our best. No cares, No big deal. But this week we have a wild one for you. Before we get to it, I just have to give the disclaimer.
Yeah.
As usual, this is a comedy podcast.
Sure is.
It's true crime, which means it is true. The facts are true. Research this. Believe me, I haven't slept in days. Research is real, but we do make jokes. We never make them at the victim's expense or at the expense of the victim's families. That's not what we're about. We're not some kind of assholes.
Not monsters.
No,
we
not
didn't
monsters.
Murder a family.
No, we're not terrible people.
But somebody did, and we'll fucking rip them limb from limb.
Yes, we'll make fun of a small town because we're all from small towns, and they all deserve to be made fun of. Wherever anyone is from deserves to be made fun of. Everything should be made fun of. Absolutely. It makes everything better, so don't get offended about that. But if you think that true crime and comedy never belong together and they just shouldn't be together, well, then thank you very much for giving us a shot. But I don't think you're going to like the show.
You're going to hate it.
Hit the unsubscribe and keep on going. See you around. Thank you. Okay. Anyone who's left out there, hopefully.
Yeah.
We're the only show that beforehand we beg people not to listen. We beg you. Please don't listen to the show. You're not going to like it.
If you don't like it, go away.
Yeah,
we're fine with that.
We're fine with that.
So many people love it.
Thank you, guys. Jimmy's, your head just blew up about 3 sizes too big on that one. Calm down.
The people that love it are amazing,
and the people still hate us, though, so keep that in mind and
those.
Keep that comic cynicism going in your head. Yeah. Definitely. Also, this week, like I said, we're going to the UK this week.
Can't wait.
So we will be mispronouncing things.
Shit, yeah.
Guarantee you I will not pronounce this shit properly.
Damn right.
Things will be wrong. Yeah. We won't know things that that are in the because it's not our culture. Right. I tried my best. I looked up everything I could.
Right.
We ask that you find our ignorance charming. That's what we're asking for this episode. Please,
be our wives for a minute.
Please find our ignorance charming and indulge us about this. But
so good.
Let's head over to Great Linford in Milton Keynes, Buckinghamshire, England.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
That's so many words just to say England.
That's a lot of... It's a very English name, too. There's a Shire in there, a Buckingham.
Yeah.
I mean, a Keynes, a Great... It's in the north.
They're so proud.
Buckinghamshire is like, I would guess it would be the province or like the state here, basically, and it's at the kind of the northern end. It's like got a little hump at the top, and it's up there in the northern part of Buckinghamshire.
Real quickly, Great Britain, if you were so fucking great, Americans wouldn't have left. Like, we wouldn't be here. So stop being so goddamn proud. That's what I'm telling you. How about just have some humility and just be like Britain?
They have the most humility, the Brits do. They're the best. Honestly, we have a lot of listeners in UK for our Crime and Sports podcast.
Well, in the shit that they call things, they don't.
We make fun of soccer. We rip everything about. We tell them they boil ham. We do all these things, and they send us back love tweets. That's hilarious. We love it. They don't get offended. No. They don't say it's Lino. They just say that's hilarious.
They
Thanks,
say you guys are dumb. It's so funny.
Yeah, we enjoy that. So we ask that you as well find our ignorance charming. So. This place, it's in southeast England, in the southeast part of the country. It's about an hour and 10 minutes outside of London.
Yeah.
So you can get there. You can get to London pretty quick from here. It's the dialing code, if you want to give it a call, is 01908. Okay. It is on the website. What they're proclaiming is, quote, great locality, proud community.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. So, yeah, that's the deal there. Getting a little history about Great Linford. It's Great Linford to distinguish from the even tinier village of Little Linford, which is a smaller town of about 800 people.
I like that town better. That's humility.
Linford. That's humility. We're little. They're like, no, great. We are the greatest Linford ever. The first reference to Linford occurs in the year 944.
Wow.
We're getting we as we do small town murder and we do U.S. cities, we're like, hey, they have buildings from 1875, and we're like, that's amazing.
That's crazy.
People got there in 1795. Wow, things are so old. There is shit here, centuries old, that they use to just dick around in now. It's awesome. They have so much of it over there. In 944. See, I wanted to say 1944. In 944, when I got to give a quote here because I don't even know what this means, but King Edmund gave to his thane oh my God. Alfea land at Linforda with liberty to leave it to whomever he wished. It appears in the Doomsday Book as Linforda.
Okay.
So that's what we got there. I don't know what the frig that means, but anybody out there might have a fucking clue what that is. I don't know. We don't care anyway.
I feel he just named it, and is there a guy named Linforda? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but I'll never think about it again.
All right.
So it's fine,
We're
honestly.
moving on then.
Yeah, it's thought to derive, the Linford is thought to derive from the crossing point between a river, of the River Ouse, it's called, which now separates Great Linford and Little Linford, which is to the north of there, and there's linden trees around there. Maybe that's what maybe it's the linden trees. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I'm in.
We're in. We'll go with that.
Right.
How's that? In the early 16th century, the rector of the parish, Dr. Richard Napier, he's a big time medical practitioner, and back then too, that included being an astrologer and a quote curer of souls.
Wow.
So I don't know if he was
bullshit artist.
Yeah, I don't know if he was like the Benny Hinn. He came in with like big hairsprayed hair and put his hands on you. Like, hallelujah! All right, now you're English.
You're cured.
You're
now you're English.
You're gonna talk with an accent. Right. Boom. Well, there you go. You're gonna eat bad food. Pow.
Enjoy those bad teeth.
That's it right there. Their teeth are better now.
Are they?
That's kind of an old school thing.
No, I'm sticking with their bad teeth.
I think they have more dental care now. I think it's better for them now.
I don't believe you.
Oh, my God. Terrible. In addition, you have Great Linford, which is they have a district there. It's got a historic village and all that. There's the civil parish around there. It includes Gifford Park, Blakelands, Neath Hill, Pennyland, Tongwell, Conaborough, Downs Barn, and Downhead Park.
Oh.
Those are all I'm sure I mispronounced half of them, but those are all very British sounding and looking names, I got to say.
They sound lovely, though.
Absolutely.
They sound like a lot of brown.
They sound terrific right now, I got to say. Linford Manor. It's also known as Great Linford Manor, but it wasn't at the time. It was just Linford Manor. They were like, well, they had humility back then when they built this shit. It was built in 1678. This is the one that sits there now still. It was built in 1678 by Sir William Pritchard.
Okay.
He bought the land from the Napier family, and it's on the site of It's basically there was an older medieval manor there, and then they built this. Like, this will be better than the old piece of shit medieval manor that we have here, which I'm sure wasn't a piece of shit.
Right.
He passed on in 1704 to relatives and kind of extended out through there as families kind of thinned out and that sort of thing. It's converted first of all, in the late 70s, they try to convert it into like an activity center.
Yeah.
It's like a castle kind of thing. Not a castle, but a manor. You know, like a big manor. And they try to, but that doesn't work out. I assume it was a funding issue, and then they turned it into a recording studio.
Okay.
So now it's
for all the rappers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's now owned by Pete Winkleman. That sounds very British. Also, he's the chairman of the Milton Keynes Dons Football Club.
Jesus,
whatever that is. I don't know.
What do they record there?
It's sound things, I guess. Okay. I don't know if there's another Beatles that come out, maybe they'll record there. I'm not sure exactly what the hell they're doing in there.
God, I hope not. I hate the Beatles so much. I'll say it, and I don't care about the ridicule. I guess. Fuck the Beatles.
I like older Beatles, or not older Beatles, newer. It's whatever. Later Beatles. I like. I don't like the happy suit and tie shit. I like when they're like, I'm tripping hard and I need to get this out.
And that's fine too.
I'm good with that.
Trip all you want. Just shut your fucking mouth. I don't want to hear your stupid lyrics. They're the dumbest lyrics that ever happened. Sure, the fucking beat's kind of catchy. I just hate the Beatles. I can't stand it.
At Whisman sucks is his Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. If you want to send him hate shit, don't send it to Small Town Murder and make my poor girlfriend Sarah, who does our social media, deal with a sea of you fucking asshole.
I just hate it.
If we're trying to endear ourselves to the British, we're down already because we're going to be mispronouncing things. So right away, they're not going to like that.
I'm going to trash their favorite
And now you're going to
thing.
trash the Beatles, too, on top of it. What's next, Jimmy? Jimmie? What else are you going to trash? Do you want to piss on Princess Di while you're out? Do you not like her?
I really want to see that
with her?
last 100 hours or last 100 days special that's coming out about her. I can't wait to watch it.
That'll be interesting. But we got Great Linford on the mind. She was a wonderful.
I wish she was
flower.
a beetle.
She was they would have been much
then
better.
I would have given a shit.
Great Linford was one of the villages. It was incorporated in 1967 with a bunch of those other villages I mentioned, the British-sounding villages, into North Buckinghamshire villages, as they were all considered.
Okay.
And they all got incorporated into Milton Keynes as a whatever. So that happened in 1967.
Yeah.
They had a huge influx of population. This is insane. This parish increased in population. It had 263 people in 1971. The parish. In 1981, it had 11,882
What the hell
people.
happened?
I don't know, but wow. That's a 4,400% increase in population.
That's crazy.
Wild. The population now of Great Linford stands at 19,350.
Still going up.
So it's still going up. It's right around 20. And I've seen some reports of, I think that was like 2011. I've seen the reports now. It's like 2,100 or something, or 20,100 or something like that. It's a pretty spread out place. It seems like there's some areas of congestion, but there's a lot of like kind of old, large estates and manors and that sort of thing, which is what you think of when you think of England anyway.
Yeah, lots of green rolling hills and lots of space in between houses.
Either that or cobblestone streets
and brownstones
with prostitutes being disemboweled in them. That's either one of the two. It's all we think of. And dark,
prostitutes being disemboweled.
Well, we've heard a lot of Jack the Ripper tales. You know what I mean? What do you want from us?
You should have caught him, you bastards.
Should have caught him.
Maybe these stories wouldn't be still going on.
Yeah, exactly. A few more women than men there, a little above the average of women. It's a woman-heavy area.
Okay.
Single, the married, there's a little more married than single. These stats, by the way, in England are not kept the same as they are here, where like everything is just a million statistics on everything.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a lot of this information. There is, so I don't know the British averages for this because they vary, because some of them include all of the islands and some of them just include England.
Weird.
Some of them include Scotland and Ireland, and some of them don't include Wales. It's insane. So it's really hard. All I know here is there are more married people than single.
Got it.
By about it's about 50% more married people than single people. Okay. Quite a bit of divorced people there. 31 same-sex marriages in Linford. So
good for you guys, you progressive bastards. I love it.
Get it on. A lot of babies, about 1,500 babies in Linford, 0 to 4 years old. I'll call that a baby in the toddler area there. Also, the population really picks up in age. 30 to 44 is the main group here where we have the most people. So it seems like kind of a family place.
Yeah. A
lot of little kids and the largest percentage of people. Out of, just under 20,000 people, 4,300 of them are between 30 and 44.
Interesting.
So that's a lot. And then 45 to 59 is about another 4,000.
Okay.
So that's about half the people are between 30 and 59.
Is there a lot of business there?
Somewhat. Not really. It's a small village. It's kind of out there. I feel like this is you would commute probably to maybe to London or maybe to another place around there. I'm not sure. I'm sure the train shoots you right into London quick. They have very good public transportation over there. So that's a possibility.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap, people. Right. Mind the gap. They have 147 people older than 90.
Really?
So good for them. Yeah. Good for you guys.
Good health care then.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's the thing over there too, is they can go to the doctor. So they tend to get shit taken care of over there. We kind of see that here. If you look at the health, they have health statistics there. And of the, say, 20,000 people, just around whatever, 9,523 of them are considered in very good health.
Wow.
That's the top health bracket. Very good. There's good, fair, bad, and very bad.
Okay.
And only 214 are very bad.
Wow.
Which I feel like you can take any 20,000 people in America and 5,000 of them are literally 2 minutes away from death. Literally a surprise or a cheeseburger away from keeling right over. So I'm impressed with that.
A sneeze or a deep breath.
Yeah.
So just an aorta rips.
Yeah. But out of this, you have 17,000 out of 20,000 people are listed in either very good or good health.
All right.
Which is amazing. That's a huge group there. Now, as far as the ethnic goes, it's mostly white. Not shocking. 15,500 of the 20,000 people are white, which we would expect. A lot of mixed ethnicity, which again in England is very prevalent.
Sure.
Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi. That's what we're doing here. It's a lot of that's kind of the demographics
Eastern,
there. 1,700, almost 1,700 black people there.
That's great.
Not bad. Good job, England. Look at you. You got some black people, and that's good. Let's see here. Religion-wise, about the people that identify themselves as religion. Over there, I think, too, it's a little more casual.
Yeah. Well, atheism over in Europe and in Australia, anywhere like the white region, I don't know how to describe that. That sounds so terrible.
The Anglo region?
The Anglo regions of anything other than America that's not Canada seems to be like an influx of atheism.
Yeah.
And Europe is not, they're not shy about it.
No, well, about half these people identify as Christians. Okay. But, I mean, we don't know if that's identify like they go to church or whatever, but 6,400 of them identify as no religion.
There you go.
Which is, that's way bigger than over here.
That's crazy.
Over here, that's probably 3 times as many as we get over here.
And how shitty is it that I say it's crazy? Like that feels so weird to say. That's amazing. Good for you guys. Yeah, keep that up.
Definitely. The jobs over there, as far as that goes. We have a lot of them in retail. Yeah, 2,200. About 10% of the jobs are in retail. Yeah, and then you just have manufacturing's about 1,000 jobs, that sort of thing. Just not a lot of any one thing. It's not like a whole. This town is only this.
That's great.
These people, and everyone works in the mine or
good
something.
Variety.
It's not like that. Yeah, it's a good variety. A lot in education, healthcare, that sort of thing. The housing there. I like how they have the housing broken up in the UK. This is so different. They have it into detached, semi-detached, terraced, flat, which is an apartment, purpose-built, which I guess made to be a flat that's converted. I guess, I don't know, you had a garage before, and now it's a flat. Residential, and then finally residence in a commercial building, and then after that, caravan, park, or temporary. That's living in your car.
Right, or trailer.
That's you made a shanty town. Right. That's what that is.
The semi-attached part is what I'm kind of fascinated.
Semi-detached.
How do you get a semi-detached?
They have semi-detached. It's like a townhouse that's not completely attached, but you're like, maybe one little part of it,
like
or that
your patio,
sort of thing.
Share something with somebody. What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's
it's that
so
sort
weird.
of thing. But it's about 10% of the people live in detached houses, about 10% in semi-detached. I'm impressed with the fact that only 4 people live in their car. That's pretty good. They have a 4 is the number there. Is in car, a caravan, a park, and that could be, they could live in their caravan, because caravan there's like an RV. Yeah. That's what they do. They go on holiday to caravan. Right. It's things.
I've seen Snatch.
I've seen the In-Betweeners. That's why I know that.
Periwinkle Blue. That's what he says.
And it's
sorry.
That's great.
Brad Pitt did a great job in that movie.
He did do a great job.
Movie.
They're probably like, his accent's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Fuck you. That's a brilliant accent. I think it's perfect.
As far as the employees there, the work activity here, there's about 6,600 full-time employees there. Would you figure with the kids and with the elderly and, sick and infirm? 2,000 of them are part-time, which is 30 hours or less a week as they define it over there. 1,200 self-employed. About almost 1,000 are unemployed. Yeah. Which isn't bad still. That's not bad. That's at 20. That's at 20,000. That's not too. Yeah, that's what we have here. So that's the average in the U.S. You have 1,700 retired, that sort of thing. 560 disabled, long-term sick, that sort of deal. So that's it. Now,
that seems pretty low too.
It does. It does. Yeah.
500 people out of 20,000 that are disabled and can't work. Like,
it's not bad.
In a town like that, I don't know. It feels like it should be higher.
I feel like there's less fat people there.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Half of our disabled people are just too fat to move.
I know a lot of disabled people though.
And I don't
people
mean
that don't
people
work.
who are overweight or chunky. I'm not saying that because I don't care what you are. But
I'm talking about like terrible shape. That they wear like a boot, like a pressure boot on their leg.
They need a helicopter to get out of their house. One of those people.
They need apparatus to keep the blood flowing.
That's common in the States.
That's very common.
Now,
thanks to fast food.
Thank you, fast food. Now, if we have convinced you to move to Great Linford in Milton Keynes, Buckinghamshire, UK,
you got me.
Convinced you to do that, we have the Great Linford Housing Report.
All right.
Let's see what goes on over there. We have a 3-bedroom detached cottage. It's cool. It looks like an old English cottage. Yeah. It's badass. It's said here that it's a superb location, on a quiet high street. A lovely neighborhood with excellent village pub, 3-minute walk down the road.
All right.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds really nice. You live in a nice cottage. You can stumble back from the pub 3 minutes away. That sounds fantastic. 385,000 pounds.
I don't know how much that is.
I don't know. It's more than that in dollars. It's probably $600,000.
Really?
Yeah. But so this seems like it's a high dollar area. Okay. From what I've gathered here, that's what I mean. It's hard to find income levels there in these towns. Like here, everybody's just this is what everybody makes. There, it's a little more.
Is it secretive?
I guess so, because that's the only way I'm trying to figure it out is by how much houses cost.
Okay.
And that's
it's tacky. It's considered tacky here to talk about your salary.
But everybody knows what you make. Yeah. I don't think it's even considered tacky tacky anymore. People have no shame at all. They just say everything they do here.
Right.
You can get a 4-bedroom detached house in a cul-de-sac. This is like a really nice house and a nice little set back from the street. Real nice house. 595,000 pounds. Pricey, but it was really hooked up on the inside too. It was remodeled.
It's like $1 million.
Nice. It's about $1 million. Yeah, it's maybe a little bit less. And then there's a 2-bedroom, first-floor flat. So if you want to get an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, this is near the canal. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if the canal smells like,
The canal here is not a good place to be.
No, that would just be like, I want to smell, must and urine. That sounds great. But there, maybe it's good. It says canal living, so I don't know if that's a...
You got a fish there? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Because that's what they do here. They got people fishing in our drinking water.
Well, you can do it for 56,500 pounds. So
to own it?
To own it, yeah. Wow. This is for outright buying. We're not renting here, Jimmy. This is for people who want to go in there and they want to lay down roots.
They don't rent shit.
They're not renting shit. Things to do in Great Linford. If you do go there and you buy a nice house 3 minutes from a pub.
Not a big fan of pub going or canal fishing. What else is there to do?
There are pubs. You have the Nag's Head pub on High Street, the Black Horse at the edge of Great Linford by the Grand Union Canal.
Okay.
So you have that going on. Also, Thursday, May 11th, and I think it's pretty much every Thursday today, if you're listening to this fresh when it comes out, there's a walking football game.
Oh.
You can do walking soccer.
How do you do that?
It just says the beautiful game at a walking pace. Wow. I don't know if that's for just old people who want to get out and get some exercise. I don't know how competitive that is.
Right.
I wonder if it's like really fit dudes who are just going at a walking pace, but they're in their brains and their faces, they're going at 100 miles an hour. They're really angry.
Or it's the disabled people. Those 500 people who are disabled. They're just like, you can walk this one.
And also there's a cold smoking workshop.
A cold smoking
for
workshop.
Meat, cold smoking meat. I don't know what that is, but there's 101 reviews of it, and there's 100 of them are positive.
Wow.
One person was like, fuck cold smoking. Fuck that. No.
Should be done hot.
No, my bacon was messed up, and I'm not going back there. Those people can eat my dick. So,
and both bars are named after animals. That's strange. The Black Horse and the Nag Head, that's bizarre.
People can eat my cold smoked dick. So, let's get into our murder here. Okay. Let's get into our murder of the week. We have to introduce you first to Gregory Davis. Gregory Davis, he's born 1979. He's born in Great Linford, Buckinghamshire, England, like we've been talking about. He's a bit of a weird kid.
Yeah.
Needless to say, as we're going to get into his later on, that will go without saying, but he's a bit of a weird kid starting out.
Some quirks.
He's got some quirks, which is weird because his family isn't messed up. Mm-hmm. They're a nice family. His father is a civil engineer. Mm-hmm. His mother's a care assistant, so she does like nursing and things like that. So you would think they're decent, upstanding people. They probably raise him in a nice, boring house.
Right.
This is the equivalent probably of growing up in, outside of a Midwestern city, and your parents are boring, and you sit there and you go, God, I can't wait to get out of here and go to college or go. Right. I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to be on Broadway. Right. I'm going to go to L.A. and try to be a comic and end up waiting tables. I'm going to do it.
Enough with this Canasta Saturday shit. I'm getting out of here.
Getting out of here. This kid, no, he's there. He attends at secondary school. He attends the Radcliffe School, named, of course, after Daniel Radcliffe.
Right,
No, it's not named for him. That's all I thought about, though, for this whole time, is it's got a big Harry Potter, a giant portrait of him.
You're issued a fucking scarf when you enroll.
It's like a 10-foot velvet Harry Potter when you walk in the door. It's right there.
Gashing lightning bolts into your forehead every day.
Unfortunately, it's not that exciting. It's just a comprehensive school in Wolverton. That's all it is. Basically, it's a foundation school, which I believe is, I could be wrong, but I believe it is their equivalent to a charter school.
Okay.
A foundation school. They call it a state-funded school where the governing body has greater freedom in the running of the school than in community schools.
Yep, I'm going with
Sounds
charter.
like a charter school, but it's still government replaced. They have They have a they're grant maintained schools, so it's basically a charter school. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is where he went. When he was there, he started getting into art a little bit. He took art classes in sixth form, which is kind of their. Basically, it seems like between 10th and 12th grade, you kind of figure out what the hell you want to do, whether you're going to university or like a vocational school or what you're doing, and that's kind of like your college prep. is kind of like late high school there.
Okay.
Rather than just being high school, it's sixth form, which seems to be very focused on prep for whatever you're doing next.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting. But
that's preparation. We don't have that shit here at all. They're just like, if you're going to...
Get out there. Go on.
You better figure it out yourself. And if you don't, then you fucking flip burgers.
Here's a guidance counselor. He doesn't care at all. Go ahead. Meet with him. Enjoy that shit.
He just wants to fill your day with shit to do. That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what it's geared towards.
Anyway, he studies art. Gregory Davis studies art at this. He also studies art later at Northampton University, which is just a public university.
Yeah.
It wasn't even really accredited, I don't think, until the 90s. So, I mean, It's not a great university, it doesn't sound like, but he went to community college is what it was here. One of his works of art made during this period was a trophy plaque.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting so far. And on it are the names of his favorite serial killers.
Wow.
That's what he made in art class.
I like him already.
Look at this, my favorite serial. Now, guys out there, everyone, ladies, guys, everyone that's listening. When I say guys, I just mean everyone out there that's listening. We're all into true crime.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be listening to this and laughing at shit that we say if you weren't somewhat into true crime.
Right.
So I'm sure you guys are like, oh, I like him or I like them, or because they're an interesting story. You say when you meet, they're not your heroes.
No.
You're not like, that guy's cool.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I love that guy. I'm gonna make like a shrine to him. I think that's a cool thing to do.
Unless you're Jonathan Davis of Korn. That guy's got trinkets from all these fucking weirdos.
Well, yeah, unless you're doing it somewhat in an ironic way or there's a tongue-in-cheek. There's no tongue in anything here. It's just, this is just tongue up a serial killer's ass in his mind. It's terrible. A fellow student from Radcliffe, from high school, said, quote, "My memory is that his art coursework was rather strange, in that it featured a sofa and a mannequin, both of which had been seriously assaulted with a blowtorch."
Wow.
That's his art.
That's art.
There you go. Now, the thing is, too, like, who are we to judge art? I don't know shit about art. But
we are the people to judge art because we don't know shit about it. That's exactly the reason we should be judging it, because we look at it and go, I don't fucking want to look at that.
Maybe the serial killer plaque and the mannequin blowtorch thing on their own, fine. Together, you go, maybe we should keep an eye on this funny guy. Let's take a look at him. I'm not sure. Now, beginning of 2003, he's almost 24 years old at this point, and he is starting to think about he's dreaming of becoming a serial killer.
Really?
That's his dream. That's who he looks up to. He looks at that as like, yeah, you can get famous. Yeah. That's like a career path.
Yeah. You can say Jeffrey Dahmer in any bar and people will be like, that guy's sick, but people recognize who the fuck he is.
He's infamous. But I mean, like over there, like, or anywhere, this kid wanted to become like a soccer player, you want to become a footballer, you want to do this, you want to do that, a rugby guy maybe. Yeah. No. He's like, that's Ted Bundy, that fellow there. He had something.
He had some drive.
He had some stick-to-itness. I think I like him. He's also, at this point, he's 24, almost 24.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with serial killers. He's thinking that this is a good path in life. And he's also extremely depressed, has bad social anxiety, and he's drinking heavily.
Then none of that
this
together
is a good
sounds
cocktail,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Now, this story, I want to say at this moment, has a lot of similarities, not in who he kills or anything like that, or who the victims are, has a lot of similarities in the execution of the crime as last week's episode.
Really?
Which I did on purpose.
Okay.
I did that on purpose because I want to show this is a different country, a different place, a different kind of it's just a lot of different.
It still lines up.
It still lines up, and how maybe the different countries or different areas react to it also, and that sort of thing. So there's just a lot of differences in the results, as opposed to over here. So I kind of wanted to do that. But
he's just got a real psychotic potpourri going on.
It's in the air. You can smell it. And you're like, what is that?
That cornucopia is so nasty.
Yeah. So. He keeps a diary at this point in his life. Oh, boy. Okay, now, anytime these guys have diaries, you know that there's not going to be great.
Let's call it what it is. Let's call it a manifesto.
It's a little manifesto. But he does his like it's like a little calendar. Like, it's just things to do.
Yeah.
Look at this one. This is what they read this later, and this is this says it all right here. It says, quote, "Quit job tomorrow. Get Mick killed. Get Stewart to withdraw cash every day. When all gone, kill him. Repeat Mick plan ad infinitum all over the world in Las Vegas and swanky bars."
Wow,
that's his goal.
I like his gumption and just forethought. He's got forethought and everything.
In his mind, he's like, I'm going to kill these people, get a bunch of money. I'm going to keep doing it all over the world. Go to Vegas, be a playboy, hang out. He saw swingers a couple times. You know what I mean? He was like, I'm going to do that.
I'm so money, and I don't even know it.
That's what I'm saying. This is 2003. He's like, I saw swingers when I was like 15. When it came out, and that shit was. I want to be money.
That seemed like so much fun.
It seemed like fun. I'm going to put a suit on.
I'm going to go visit the bar at the Skank Shift.
Let's do it
and be all grown up.
All grown up. Hey, everybody, just going to break away from the show for one moment to tell you about one of our favorite sponsors, Mack Weldon.
MackWeldon.com.
MackWeldon.com. Go to MackWeldon.com. Their clothing, their activewear, their underwear, their
Sunday clothes.
It's amazing, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. This is for not just guys, ladies. They have a full ladies section too. They have women's wear, they have men's wear, they have everything. This is the most comfortable, high quality socks, shirts, undershirts, hoodies, sweatpants you're going to find. I will tell you one thing, and this is 1,000% honest. I'm sitting here right now with my Mack Weldon undershirt on, and I wear it every recording day because it's comfortable and it's so soft and comfortable, and it literally just makes me feel good sitting here for 4 hours in the studio.
I'm wearing my drawers right now.
It's amazing.
The waistband on the underwear are so it's thick, so it doesn't like fold over and you feel like a fat slob. If they are so comfortable and they hold you in a packaged state, it's fantastic.
But more about your package that makes a statement is your package will not stink anymore, Jimmy.
Right.
Jimmy, your stinky balls are going to be housed in a place because they have the special line of silver underwear, which are naturally antimicrobial.
Fantastic.
They're taking any stink you have and just taking it away.
I had no idea that's why I smell so great.
That's why. That's what I'm saying. This is the best. You really have to do it. Not only does Mack Weldon's underwear, socks, and shirts look good, they perform well too. It's the best. Honestly, guys, we this is like our favorite product. We love having them as a sponsor. Go to MackWeldon.com today and get 20% off using the promo code STM, like Small Town Murder.
Right.
Promo code STM at MackWeldon.com. Really, guys, we couldn't tell you a better product to get. So go ahead and get it.
And now back to the show.
I'm gonna call women.
What do you say? Get Mick killed? Is that what
Get Mick killed.
That's weird.
That is weird.
That's a weird phrasing of it.
I don't know.
Like that, not just like murder dude or kill a guy. Or get this specific man killed.
Yeah, that's it. And then ad infinitum. That's what I mean. It's like it's just on his calendar, like things to do, like real quick. And in swanky bars. Okay, good. That's good for now.
Be money.
Mick is a man named Mick Cowles that we're going to meet in a few minutes here. But he made he was making a list of people to kill.
Yeah.
You know, like things to do. I need bread, I need eggs, I need milk, and I need to kill Stuart when he withdraws me the money. And let's get Mick killed while we're at it. Let's do that. Because he wants to become a successful serial killer.
Yeah,
that's it. He looks at it like it's like a job where if you play your cards right, you can really hit the big time.
You can really be CEO of Murder Inc.
So weird. So on January 28, 2003, this is the day after his quit job tomorrow and go get Mick killed and all that. He sets out into the world.
Okay.
Sets out into the world. Leaves his house with a hammer and a 12-inch carving knife.
That's it.
And he's like, all right, let's do this.
That's his gig.
That's his gig. Going to get this done. He first pays a visit to Stuart Johnson, who is the steward who he wanted to keep getting to take money out until it ran out and then kill him. And he couldn't kill Stuart. Luckily for Stuart, he was having his kitchen remodeled.
Oh.
And there was workers at his house.
Too many people.
Workers at his house remodeling the kitchen. So he went over, bullshitted with Stuart for a minute, and then was like, all right, gotta go.
Yeah.
See you later. These are all people that he knows from a local pub. And we're going to find out where that is and everything else. He continues down the list. He couldn't kill Stuart Johnson, so who's next?
Mick.
Got to get Mick killed, right? So he heads to Mick Cowles' house.
Okay.
This is Mick Cowles. He's in his 50s at this point. He plans on robbing and killing Mick. Okay. That's his whole plan, obviously. He knows
all these people from the bar?
Like he knows these people from the pub. It's a small town where everybody hangs out at the pubs.
This is what happens if Norm went psycho? Is that what this is?
I believe so. I believe he would murder Cliff, and then you'd have a lot of problems here. That's what happened. Unreal, man. He knows they hung out at the Pilgrim's Bottle Pub.
Okay.
Is where they hung out in Great Linford, the whole group here. Mick, at home with Mick also, because Mick isn't the only one there when he gets there, when Davis gets to the house. Also with Mick is someone else he knows, Dorothy Rogers, who's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's 48 years old at the time, and she hangs out at the Pilgrim's Pride with everybody there.
Yeah.
Or Pilgrim's Bottle, I should say. Pilgrim's Pride.
Pilgrim's Pride. What is that? That's like a shitty brand of something here, isn't it? Isn't it like cheap meat at the grocery store?
I think it's my country 'tis of thee, actually. Land of the Pilgrim's Pride. It's my country 'tis of thee. That's the only time I've ever heard Pilgrim's Pride.
I'm pretty sure there's a brand of that, though,
I'm
that's
sure.
like cheap meat at the grocery store.
I'm sure
or
it's like Pilgrim's Pride cornstarch.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it on something, fry it up, or whatever you do with cornstarch. I don't know what you do with
something
cornstarch.
that makes people fat.
Yeah, so anyway, Mick and Dorothy are well-liked people. Also at the house is Dorothy's 19-year-old son, Michael. He's hanging out there, too. So we got a 19-year-old, no children anyway, which is good. 19-year-old, we have the 50s Mick, we have 48-year-old Dorothy. So they're well-liked people, Mick and Dorothy. Everyone down at the Pilgrim's Bottle likes them. They're just good people, basically. No one has a complaint about these people. They're good, upstanding people. Davis is set on something happening today. Okay. He wants to kill Mick, even though this is not the ideal situation with other people in the house, and it wasn't what he thought was going to be. He thought Mick would be there, he'd go over, kill him, hammer him up a little bit, stabby stab, and then we'll take off with some cash, and next thing you know, he's calling women bunnies. Right. Hey, you're just a little bunny, and that's it. That's what he was thinking. So he starts an argument with Mick.
I think they called them babies, though.
Little baby. Well, she said that she's like a little bunny. Okay. He was trying to tell Favreau to go up to the little bunny. Right. Come over and out of your hand and all that
shit. They're just the little babies. The little babies.
Either way, insulting as fuck. Anyway. So, either way, very insulting. So he starts an argument with Mick. That's what he's going to do here. This is his plan. After a minute of arguing, he just attacks Mick with the hammer. Yeah. He starts going to work on Mick with the hammer. Yeah. He hurts Mick really bad, leaves him in a pile in the kitchen, but he's alive still. Oh, boy. Mick did not die from the hammer attack because Gregory had to stop because Dorothy was freaking out because she's, he's beating her boyfriend to death in the middle of their kitchen. Yeah. That's kind of a deal that, someone would freak out about. I would imagine there's probably blood spatter everywhere. This is not cool, right? So she's there. What's he going to do now?
Focus on her.
He's going to go over. He's going to start whacking the shit out of Dorothy with a hammer. So he goes over, starts beating her with a hammer. She goes down. She isn't moving. But he says, look, I know she's not moving, but I'm not finished yet. He said, I brought two things with me. I brought a hammer and I brought a knife. I have this 12-inch carving knife. I better stab her with it 31 times.
Jesus.
31 times. And that's not the worst thing he does today, by the way. Wow. 31 times, that's
prison stabbing.
That's so many times. That's just a guess at that point.
Yeah, and he doesn't even know that he hit her 31 times because you lose track after that.
And when they do the autopsy, who knows if some are inside of some and double say you don't even know. It's just about 31. Yeah. Like there's no way to even. That's how many it is. So now where's Michael? We have a 19-year-old kid unaccounted for here. He witnesses the whole thing from the other room. He walks in. He sees Mick on the ground. He sees his mom getting, after she's completely bashed in her skull, and now she's getting stabbed repeatedly. So, Gregory looks up and he's like, oh, shit, Michael's here. What do I do here? Michael, imagine that eye contact moment of, oh, no, I'm going to run. And he's like, oh, shit, if he runs, I got to chase him. One of those things. So Michael takes off out of the house.
Good.
Runs out of the house, through the door, out the door.
So he had that I'm too old for this shit moment. He's like, I can't run, but I got to go get him.
Davis hopped right up off of Dorothy, out the door, and chased him down. He chases him down, finally catches up with him right nearby the house, like a couple houses worth down, in a children's playground.
Oh, no.
Where witnesses of parents and children who were at the playground
holy shit.
Yeah, this is horrific, man. Got to watch Gregory Davis, stab Michael to death, catch up with him, stab him to death. Then he disembowels him at the park in front of parents. I hope that the parents would have brought their children away once the disemboweling started. I would just hope so.
But field dressed him in front of all the kids.
At a children's playground. Kids, parents, everyone, people looking out of windows in the middle of broad daylight. This is broad daylight.
And at that moment, he doesn't think, damn it, I just ruined being a serial killer because everybody has seen this now.
Everybody saw this? Right. No, I don't know what he was thinking to do this. Obviously, police are called, obviously. Yeah. I'd like to hear that because they're very polite in Britain and they don't get real worked up about shit like that. I don't mean to be a bother. I guess I don't mean to be a bother, but there's just something you might want to know about. Just, I'm
staring at intestines at the moment.
Yeah. No, it's not 911 over there either.
No, it's 999, I think.
999, he is. So he's arrested, obviously. Because, he bad enough that he's in the house and he's got fingerprints all over everything and he's got a diary and everything else. But, everyone saw him disembowel a teenager. Yeah. That tends to get you, a little arrested.
A little attention and a little bit of handcuffs.
Little arrested most of the time. Yeah. So he's arrested. He admits to the murders. Says, yeah, sure, I did it. I mean, what else is he going to say, honestly?
My planner's ruined. I got so many appointments that I'm not going to be able to keep
At least I quit my job. Yeah. At least I'm not going to have shifts piling up where I'm going to have to make them up, and then I'm going to lose all my PTO. Yeah. It's terrible. So
I hope he got arrested by a female cop and he was calling her Bunny and Baby.
That would have been great. He's like, let's just go to Vegas, baby, Vegas. It's come on, be money. We'll go to Vegas. So he's held until this happened in January. So he's held until December 15th, 2003, where he stands trial at the Luton Crown Court, which I'm sure I said that wrong. Sorry, Loughton, but it's Luton. Looks like Luton to me.
It's probably like Luton.
Or it's futon with an F, so we're going to go with Luton. How's that? What do you say? It's like a futon.
I like it.
He pleads guilty to manslaughter. They allow him to plead guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility.
Why is that?
Now, if we remember last week, this guy had voices and was trying to go to the hospital for voices. This guy sought no help.
Yeah.
He just claims that he was in a psychotic rage.
Yeah.
That's his claim. I was in a, quote, psychotic rage. The judge, Justice Richard Akins, accepted the plea after a team of 5 psychiatrists, all 5, I don't know if they're easier to fool over there or what, but they diagnosed him with a major depressive disorder, social anxiety disorder, and alcohol dependence.
God, they're so kind.
And said he was suffering as a suffering from a psychotic episode at the time.
Here in America, they find that day planner and go, this is preparation, that's calculated, that's premeditated.
And also things like depression, social anxiety, and there are major depressives that are like that we've talked about there. But I mean, depression, social anxiety, and alcohol dependence are considered tough shit in this country.
That's called you should have got some fucking help.
The guy last week had all of those things plus possibly paranoid schizophrenia, and his ass is doing, 97 years or some crazy shit like that. So he's allowed to do this. I don't understand it. The judge said here, Richard Akins said, quote, I'm satisfied you are suffering from mental illness, and it is appropriate that you be detained in a hospital for mental treatment.
My God.
That's what he says. Unbelievable.
The poor families.
The poor family when they're watching that.
Yeah.
But he sentences him to an indefinite term of being locked up. So, like, look, we're going to throw away the key. We're locking you up. They
don't have that here.
They don't have
no
an indefinite. No,
yeah.
they have a and they will here if once you're okay, then they'll send you to prison afterwards. That's it. Then it's like, oh, now you're okay to go to prison. So we'll put you in prison and someone can stab you and there you go.
Right.
The court was
stabbed
and raped him. Sorry, that's it's prison. So
it's
what
just
do you
how it goes, man. That's their society.
We're just being realistic.
Right.
So the court was told that Davis's original idea had been just to kill Mr. Cowles there, and been just he got there to kill Mick, but things got out of hand.
Listen, there's more people to kill.
Yeah, that's what I mean. His own attorney said that he had ambitions to be a serial killer and was fascinated with mass murder and killers. They read the excerpts from the diary that we've just told you about.
Yeah,
Kill Mick, all that shit. So at that point, it's a little.
It's a slam dunk.
It's a slam dunk.
Yeah.
But in mitigation for this, which is trying to plead your case for a lesser sentence, his attorney, Davis's attorney, said, "quote The general public must appreciate this was the action of a sick man."
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
I don't disagree.
But that's not the point.
But it doesn't mean he doesn't need to be penalized severely for it.
Yeah, he's given an indefinite sentence and to be served at Broadmoor Hospital, and he's taken away out of there, and he's put away, locked up for good, right?
Yeah.
This is over.
It's obviously over.
Completely over. Oh, no, we're only about 44 minutes into the show. It's not over yet. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, it's not over. Within months of being locked up, within 3 months, he recruits a human rights lawyer.
Oh, no.
And this is on this is for his legal aid. This is with 10,000 pounds of taxpayer money to use this. They start battling for his release right away.
What?
Right away. Yeah. They're claiming that he had a psychosis caused by a reaction to medication he'd been taking for depression. That's what they're saying. Yeah, that's sorry, dude. On November 16th, 2009, this is 6 years later, they've been fighting for him this whole time, by the way. He's moved to a less secure facility.
What?
That's not even close to the end of this. You're going to be really pissed in a minute. In Littlemore in Oxford, okay? Littlemore is the name of the facility. It's in Oxford. He's said to be doing well in his treatment where he's there. They allow him to take trips to see his parents in Great Linford, the town that he did this shit in. And guess what? Unsupervised.
That was the next question I was going to ask. Who went with him? Nobody? He just goes?
I picture like a prison guard with a shotgun standing next to him the whole time that's tethered to him by a handcuff while he's shackled. Nope. They just send him up. There you go.
Hop him on the bus and
off on the train.
Go visit your family.
Off on the train with you. There you go. That was, wow, 2 hours a week.
What?
This was 2 hours a week. He got to go see his parents.
2 hours that he gets to spend with them and plus the commute? Or like just
sure.
2 hour window he can get out and then come back?
They don't say that.
Like
they
work
don't
for
say
a low
that.
almost.
It's probably 2 hours
That
with
is
the family,
ridiculous.
Which is, I don't care if it's 10 minutes.
Yeah,
what are you doing out? Lock him up. He's an asshole.
He's outside the gate. I don't care where he's going.
I don't like that, and people in Great Linford shouldn't really like that either, probably.
Yeah.
Now, March 2011, they hold a medical health tribunal and they hear that they pitch their case to them. These lawyers, they say that it was a psychotic episode brought on by alcoholism and a bad reaction to medication. Just, he's fine now.
Yeah.
He's a fine, upstanding young citizen.
It's not an allergic reaction. He killed people. He doesn't have hives.
No.
He fucking murdered people.
He has a 12-inch carving knife. That's what he has, with a kung fu grip and spring action. That's what he's got.
It's not difficulty breathing or watery bowel.
No.
He's murdering people.
He's got murdery bowels is what he's got, which I don't know if that's worse than watery, but
this isn't so much as goddamn side effects to a pill. This is murder.
So they're talking about releasing him, releasing him. They had another mental health tribunal, and hundreds of people staged a huge protest, sitting campaign against his release. They started a Facebook group called "We Are Against a Brutal Double Murderer Being Released into the Community." That's the name of the Facebook group. That's pretty straightforward.
It's only double by luck and chance. It should be triple.
It should be tried to kill another guy.
He tried his hardest.
A friend of the Rogers family here, we have a family friend, said, quote, "There is no doubt whatsoever that this is an extremely dangerous man. Surely nobody in Milton Keynes is safe if a killer is allowed to walk free. It is crazy that he can suddenly be declared sane after 6 years. What happens if he forgets to take his pills? If the mental health professionals think he's fit to leave, then he should be taken to prison to serve the sentence he deserves."
Good Christ, I hope he forgets to take those pills. Those things cause him to be a murderer.
Apparently so. Well, now he's all fine.
Yeah,
he's good now.
I hope they got that shit off the market there, too, whatever he was taking.
No, they're giving it out like candy, I'm sure. Now, August 2011, his lawyers have convinced mental health experts that his killings were just a bad reaction, and now he's cured. Despite a citywide protest, unbelievable, they grant him a conditional discharge to leave the secure mental health prison. Dorothy's son, Fred Rogers, as you might imagine, is not happy.
Yeah.
He tells him it is not a beautiful day in my fucking neighborhood. No. I am angry. I'm going to put my cardigan on, change my shoes, and then I'm whooping your ass.
Yeah.
That is a Mr. Rogers reference for anybody out there who missed it.
I'm bringing Lady Fairchild with me, and we are going to have a great day.
Yes, exactly. So Fred Rogers says, quote, "We are appalled. How can a psychopathic double killer suddenly be cured and safe enough to return to society after just 7 years? No shit." Members of the Rogers family, they fought with the authorities now to make sure that Milton Keynes, the whole area, was an exclusion zone where he wasn't allowed to come. And they found out, oh, no, we can't do that. And we've been letting him go there for the last 2 years, by the way, also.
2 hours at a time. No problem.
He could have drove right by your house and you don't even know it. So that's he could have walked in front of your house.
While you're sitting there with your family eating boiled ham, he's coming right the hell by on his way to visit his folks.
It's
free and clear, no problem.
And they tried to tell the family that he wasn't going to be allowed there, which he is. Fred said, again, back to Mr. Rogers here, he said, quote, "We're told he won't be allowed in Milton Keynes after his release, but while his father and sister still live there, we have no faith in the execution or in the exclusion zone. Many people who knew my mother and brother will still be terrified."
No doubt.
I don't blame
I'm terrified,
them, honestly.
and I'm still this many miles away.
Yeah. Said even if the experts believe he is miraculously cured, he should be transferred to a normal prison to serve the rest of his sentence. He should not be living next door to ordinary people. What makes it even worse is that the authorities did not even warn us the decision had been made this month. We only found out last week what happened when we made an inquiry.
They asked, and they disclosed it,
and
thankfully.
They were like, oh, yeah, that, by the way, we let him out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that guy? No, he's not here.
They didn't contact the family. They didn't have a chance to speak at the hearing. Yeah. Like, hey, by the way, here's a picture of my disemboweled little brother. Maybe you want to take a look at that. Unbelievable, man. So, yeah, he's going to be allowed out anywhere he wants for a couple hours a week in the run-up to his release because they do like kind of a test run. Make sure he doesn't hack anybody up in the interim here.
Sure.
So he...
justify her decision.
Exactly. So it says that he'll be monitored by psychiatrists. He's going to move to a secret address within the community so no one can fuck with him.
That's not good either.
No. Well, I mean, people would be picketing his house and they'd have to have cops protecting him all the time.
They're also enabling him in being covert and undercover.
True, but they're also,
which is exactly what a murderer wants.
They're also saving money in police protection, I think, too. That's honestly what they're thinking. We'd have to have officers outside of his door 24 hours a day.
They can look at it the way they want. I'm looking at it in the cynical, like, I don't want to be a victim side.
True. I understand that. But as a community, I think it's how else do you release a guy? You can't just be like, here he is. This is his address. Go knock on his door. Have fun. Although
in America,
here they do it.
The TMZ and the media would be all over his fucking house.
Well, this is a small town, which is the people there are like TMZ.
Yeah.
This is amazing. He blamed the bloodbath killings on a bad reaction to antidepressants he was taking at the time. It's like he had a bad day at the office and suddenly is cured. That's what one of the relatives said. He said, we have no idea where he's living or what these conditions are. We are disgusted that Davis has been freed, but more than anything, we're worried. How do we know when he'll attack again? My family has got a life sentence and Davis can just walk free. We are disgusted. Where's the justice for us? Who's to say that if he takes another course of medication, it won't have an effect on him again? Exactly. These are all obvious things.
It's just silly that he's blaming it on antidepressants. Antidepressants, literally, by definition of antidepressants,
they do cause psychotic
they're supposed to make you happy, though.
Yes,
that's the idea.
They do cause psychotic episodes and a lot of like teen suicides and shit like that. But generally, they don't disembowel people and chase people. They don't cause this normally.
They don't cause
this is rare.
Hammer attacks with giant carving knives.
Yeah, exactly. This is pretty brutal. Now, the spokesman for the government said that conditionally discharged patients may be recalled to a secure hospital if there's evidence of increased risk to the public. So, like, hey, if he messes up, we're going to keep an eye on him. We're going to recall him back. Okay, keep that in mind.
But if he messes up the way he messed up last time, it won't matter anyway because somebody's dead.
Yeah. An officer who worked on the case said, quote, Davis was clearly deranged and very dangerous. He should be detained as a matter of public safety, which I agree with that guy. Now, in 2014, the conditions of his release are lifted, and he is a free man. Free man. 11 years after doing that, he's 100% free and clear, doesn't even have to report to anyone, doesn't have to check in. He doesn't have anybody just going, hey, Greg, how you feeling today?
This is ridiculous.
How many pills you got left, Greg? You taking them?
This is terrifying.
Unbelievable. So in July of 2014, Davis sends a 1,600-word email to the local paper where the victims' families live, because they're talking shit about him. So he's trying to explain himself. And in that email, he claims that he thought the world was a video game emanating from a blue orb on the back of his head, and the only way he could escape this unreality, quote, was to commit horrific crimes.
Wow.
Would you like to know an excerpt of that letter?
No, I do, and I don't at the same time, but let's hear it.
Let's hear some crazy here.
This is fucking bananas.
He said, quote, I thought that nothing was real in the world except me and that I had created the world as a game to test my belief. I believed this information was emanating from a blue orb in the back of my head, and I had to do what it was telling me. I was convinced through the delusion that I had to be the opposite sort of person to how I had been in order to break out of the unreality of the world that I thought I was trapped in. Mm-hmm. He's writing this on paper.
This is a lot of rambling.
Since in my life I had always been a law-abiding, polite, and kind person up to that point, I was deluded into believing that I had to do terrible things like killing people. Of course, the terrible acts I committed will never be healed for the victims' families, and I live with the part of me that's destroyed by what I did. All I can do is try to live as good a life as possible and make a positive difference where I can. A positive difference.
Wow.
Let's get him working with kids. What do you say? Let's make a positive difference. Maybe he can go be a soccer coach or something.
I'm going to go save lives and work on the suicide hotline, all that stuff too. This guy, this is ridiculous. The delusions are still there because he thinks that he can do something positive. Yeah. Nobody wants to fucking be around you, bro.
Let's hear the positive that he put into the world.
All right,
okay?
I can't wait.
He's a fan and subscriber and a donor to a complete blowhard asshole on YouTube named Archie Luxury. Look him up. Okay. He's a British asshole he claims to be a fine watch expert. And he's just a scumbag who goes on. He's like, this episode is how to pick up chicks with watches, with your fine watch.
And he supports that guy financially?
And he literally just tells everyone how to be a douchebag. Wow. Have a $25,000 watch, and this is how you play it to get chicks to like you. Like you can't just walk up and tell them this watch cost me $48,000. You have to walk up. I swear to God, this was one of them. You have to like go up to a sales girl, and you have to say, hey, this watch here that I have, and she knows what that is. And you say, well, I'd like to look at the female version of this, and blah, blah, blah. So they know that you're... It's insane, this guy.
Ridiculous.
He's a huge, huge asshole. He's a fat guy, dumb hair. Stupid hair. His hair is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Obsession with Asian girls. Obsession with submissive Asian girls. Yeah. They love Thailand.
Yep.
Like, that's the type of assholes these people are.
Just the most misogynistic piece of shit on earth, kind of like that. Yeah,
that's all he is. Yeah, but with a fancy watch on that he thinks makes everything okay.
It's
like,
Tom
I have a fancy
Leykis.
watch.
It's Tom Leykis on YouTube.
With a fancy watch. That he thinks. So Greg Davis sends him money. He sends him fancy whiskey.
Wow.
This is like, he just loves his whole lifestyle. Greg makes a video for his channel at one point, and in this video, he's been taken down now. He's flashing his watch collection. He's wearing a $25,000 Patek Philippe watch.
He's wearing it?
Gregory Davis.
Wow.
Showing it off, sipping very expensive liquor. He's drinking liquor. He's drinking
allowed
whiskey.
To drink booze. I mean, he's walked away.
Fucking
he's
drinking whiskey.
Clear.
Anyone who sees him drinking whiskey should be allowed to hit him with a fucking hammer. Stop drinking whiskey.
Don't
you
put anything inside
your
your body that changes you dick.
Unbelievable. People are fucking pissed now because now they're like, oh, look at him.
Yeah.
And not only that, he's flaunting his lifestyle. Like, where's he getting this money from, which we still haven't figured out. And obviously, he's not supposed to be drinking.
Yeah.
A former friend of his from back in the day before he killed 2 people, said, quote, the thought of Greg Davis drinking alcohol again and spending thousands indulging his passion for watches is disgusting. He should have never been freed after such a horrendous crime. And that's his buddy.
He's not wrong.
He's drinking like an asshole.
His friend sounds great.
So Archie is planning, Archie Luxury, asswipe here. He's kind of like a blowhard, like he's like if Rush Limbaugh was only into watches and not politics and sex with enslaved Thai girls and boys probably. Who the fuck knows? So Archie Luxury is planning a sex tour of Thailand with a few select people.
Openly?
Oh, yeah. This is just, we're going over there to get gross. With a few, it's going to be disgusting. Who's on board?
To get gross.
Getting gross. With a few select people, including a guy named John Sukahorn, who's a Thailand visitor and enthusiast and has all these YouTube videos about Thailand, and he's slept with like 500,000 prostitutes or something,
gross.
he claims. It's some insane number. And, of course, Greg Davis is going to go on this trip with them. Unbelievable. All is fine until a security check that they're all doing to go over there reveals that Greg is a guy who killed 2 fucking people, and they didn't know about it. Oh, yeah, this guy disemboweled somebody. Ooh,
Mr. Luxury had no idea?
No idea. Yeah. Not only a convicted killer, a horribly gruesome convicted killer. So he's banned from the trip, obviously.
Yeah.
They said, no, thank you. Sukahorn, the by a prostitute pervert there, disavows Davis completely, says, I don't want anything more to do with this guy. I'm not friends with him.
Yeah.
Archie is said to have severed ties, but then he won't say anything bad about him. This Archie, because I think Greg Davis is still sending him money.
Yeah.
No, I think he's still sends him money, sends him booze. It's one of his donors. I don't think he wants to piss the guy off.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, well, yeah, I can't go on a vacation with him, but I have a feling they're still pals type of thing. It's one of those shit.
I like good scotch, and I don't want Greg to stop sending it.
Yeah, I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to chase anybody down in a kid's park or anything like that. So he's living now, Greg Davis, at an unknown location, wearing fine watches, drinking the best whiskey. Hope you get hit by a fucking trolley, asshole. That's all I have to say.
He's still out there.
He's out there. Oh, by the way, Mick Cowles died after a fall in his own home at age 63.
God. Jesus.
He fell down in his own home and died at 63.
He was planned to be murdered. I hope it wasn't in that beautiful kitchen.
Oh, no, that's the other guy, Stuart Johnson with the new kitchen.
Yeah.
That would have been a shame if they just got it
Mick,
installed.
the guy that got beat up, he died on his own in a fall.
In his own on a fall. Just in his, The Stewart, I got to say, the Stewart guy, imagine if this happened like a week later and the kitchen was done. It was all perfect, and then he came in and brained the guy in the kitchen. That would have been awful. Just a shame for the cabinets, too, because they wouldn't have been able to sell the place. It would have been terrible. With a brand new kitchen, you just invested.
Blood-stained oak.
That's Great Linford in the UK and Buckinghamshire, England, and that's Gregory Davis.
And he's still out there for you. Be scared.
He is still out there for you guys.
Hey, English people, I called them English fecal.
That's terrible. You're not fecal, guys.
English people. I don't know of many people that we have on the streets like that.
No.
That have killed 3 like that.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot.
I'm sure there are, but
this I mean. I wanted to show the difference between our guy, and I don't even mean. I'm not saying we're better at this.
Right.
Just our systems are different,
right.
and I think they're a little more trying to help a mentally ill person, whereas we're like, well, shit, that's one more we can get off the street in this country. Like we don't. Mental health care is not a thing here.
But mental health is not a thing there either because they're not doing anything to help the guy. He's out there unsupervised, just doing whatever he wants to do.
He sat there for 8 years in jail, and that cured him. He's all cured up. Everything's fine.
No.
So if you like that, and obviously you don't like what happened, but if you like our telling of what happened, please get on iTunes, give us 5 stars. Paper is crumbly and crispy when you crunch it up. We don't care. Just it helps us out so much. So if you could do that, I know it takes 30 seconds. Take the time out of your day and help us out.
Yeah.
This takes way more than 30 seconds to put together. Also, too, if that's not enough, you need to dig deeper.
You need more.
You can get on patreon.com/crimeinsports, and you can give us a donation there. Any amount is fine. Anything is fine. We appreciate anything from the bottom of our hearts that you people want to.
If you don't like Patreon, our PayPal is crimeinsports@gmail.com.
Yeah, go on, drop us a one-time donation there.
Help me take care of James and get him some health insurance.
I'd like health insurance. English people, we don't have that here, and I especially don't have it, and I'd like to have it. So that would be terrific. You can do that. Also, if you just want to hang out with us here, you can follow us on social media. We are at Small Town Pod on Facebook. That's facebook.com/smalltownpod.
Right.
And we are at Murder Small on Twitter.
There you go.
And here are some people that Jimmy has to tell you about right now who were so nice to us and gave us donations this week.
This week was great.
We love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much.
You guys, I can't thank you enough for the people that are supporting us like this. It's really overwhelming, and it feels fucking incredible to know that people are willing to part with a couple bucks just to help us get through this and grind through and get all this information to you. Bobby Burden, actually it's Robbie Burden. Sorry about that. Mary Zellers, Ryan Crum, Kelly Mack. She's a Small Town Murder fan. Dylan Field. Please continue to make these. It gets me through work. If I didn't have these, you would have to cover me in my small town.
We love that.
So
Thank
thanks,
you, man.
Dylan. Thanks for being around.
Dylan.
John Ellis, Don Mayforth, Tamara Talavera. That's a cool name. That's a lot of A's. I don't know.
Yeah.
Heidi Vogel, Laura Sinclair. She upped her Patreon donation. So thank you, Laura. Appreciate it.
You're the best. Thank you.
Kimberly Gall, or G-A-L-L. G-A-A-L. Gall. I think so. Yeah. Kimberly Gall. Mary Virginia Avery. Patrick Sokol. He upped his donation as well.
Wow.
Iana
Amazing.
Nelson. Thank you. She gave me the pronunciation of her name.
Oh, that's helpful. Yeah, thank you. Perfect.
Before I read it, and then the next week she said I fucked up her name. So this time she just decided to go ahead. Anyway,
good.
Iana Nelson, thank you for James's health insurance. She said. Margot Sweeney from Denver. She's obsessed. She says. Stunning Steve Kodonis. Is that? I saw it and I was like, is that like a self-given nickname, or is he like an? I was like, I was hoping.
I assume it's a Stunning Steve Austin reference to
I was hoping
Steve
that
Austin's
he was
early wrestling character before he was Stone Cold.
I was hoping he was actually a real ex-wrestler and just wanted to throw that stunning part in there to see if James remembered him. Sparkle Hamilton, David Burgess, Greg Baxter, Colleen. She gave no last name, so thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen. She knows who she is.
Because she didn't give us a last name.
Colleen knows who you are.
Morgan Martin, Jill Citron, and Molly Hewitt. Thank you all so much.
You guys mean the world
an amazing
to us.
week.
Seriously,
thank you so
guys.
much.
It's been overwhelming, and we can't thank you guys enough.
Truly.
If you want to get a hold of us,
the support is awesome.
Thank you guys, really. If you want
Real
to get
quick,
a hold
before you go any further.
Yes.
Okay. We were number 152 on the iTunes charts out of every podcast
total.
on iTunes.
Overall,
that's incredible.
In the U.S.
And you guys did that, so thank you.
Yes, it's all you guys. We're just, I don't know what's happening out there, but thank you guys for making that happen and making a couple of horrible, dried up, cynic, black-hearted comics actually feel like people aren't that shitty.
A little gray right now.
For 5 minutes after we read a story about someone disemboweling a teenager in a children's park. But anyway, you want to give them your social media, Jimmy, in case
At
they
Whisman
want to
Sucks,
talk to you?
WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Find me, tweet at me, snap at me, whatever. It's great to have you guys. Thank you.
I am at Jimmy P. Is funny. If you want to do that, I'll get back to you and we'll have a little chit-chat. Or you can do try to copy and paste my name from the show description because you're not going to spell Pietragallo correctly. Let's be honest here. Do that. Follow us. Say that. And guys, can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
It's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from Law and Crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus